Everyone has a different game style. Everyone has a different game style. Yo guys, what is going on? It's Tyrant LEIVR back for another video. Today I'm going to be doing a class setup video for my World War II classes. These are classes that I use on game battles on World War II for mostly singles, but sometimes doubles and team. Mainly singles though. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Just to note one thing before I get started, these classes are mainly my opinion, so when you see me using these are just my opinion on what is the best for what works for me. Everyone has a different game style. Everyone has a different game style. Everyone plays a little bit differently. So just note that these are my classes, and I've used these for, I don't know, a couple weeks now since the update came out, or a week or so. However long since that last FG update came out. So let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, I have the FG. This is my favorite gun in the game right now. Mainly in singles, I run an AR when I'm playing a better player. Sometimes I use an SMG, but I mean, you always want to change up the pace, so you want to have a good mix of both. But to start things off, this is the class I'm going to be using the most, and it's an FG with Mountain. In singles, I really rely on sound. I'm always listening for sound cues, always listening for nades, listening for plants, listening for footsteps. So I have to use Mountain in order to hear the enemy, because if I'm running around and sounding like a elephant out there, I'm not going to be able to hear what my enemy is doing. So I almost always use Mountain. There's only 1 or 2 instances where I won't use Mountain, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then I'm going to use the FG with Quick Draw and Grip. You can also take off Quick Draw and throw on a red dot if you want, or long barrel, or advanced rifling, whatever. But personally, I prefer Quick Draw Grip, and I just, I don't know, I really prefer it without the sight. Well next, we'll get into that. I also have Scoped here, because Scoped is pretty much like stock, so you're going to be able to move around a lot quicker while you're aimed in. As you can see here, you can just move around, your shot's a lot steadier, there's no sway on your gun. So Scoped is really a necessity for me on ARs for the most part, unless I'm using Hunker. Now you're going to see Scoped on most of my classes, but not all of them, and I'll talk about why when we get there. And then obviously a machine pistol with extended mags is going to be the exact same on every class. Always going to be using a machine pistol with extended mags. And then I have a grenade on this class. Now I like to mix up my usage of grenades and stuns just to kind of throw off my enemy players or enemy team, whatever. And when you mix that up, they don't really know what to run on their class. So you're going to see me run a grenade on this class, stun on the next class, etc., etc. So next class, here we go. This is my FG Hunker class. So if I know that they're throwing a lot of nades, or I'm going to push middle on Ardennes Forest or London Docks or something of that nature, I want to be running Hunkers so that if I get hit by a frag grenade or a Semtex, I'm not going to be weak. So I'm going to pretty much be using Mountain across the entire board here. So Mountain, and then my FG42, Reflex, and Grip, and then obviously machine pistol and a stun. Like I said, I mix it up, so I have a stun on this class, and Hunkers. So on to the next one. This is going to be my PPSH class. Now this one's a little bit different. I used to have 2 different classes for a regular PPSH and then a PPSH with Hunker class, but I changed it up a little bit, so I mixed them together. This is going to be my PPSH with Hunker class, and it's going to have a frag grenade on it. Now on my PPSH, there's a couple options here. You can run Quick Draw and Grip, or you can run Advanced Rifling and Grip. Now, personally, I prefer Quick Draw and Grip for the most part, but sometimes I like to change it up and get Advanced Rifling, so that's what you're going to see here. But if you don't have a very good shot, your shot's not very steady, I would definitely be using Grip. Some people say it doesn't help a lot. I personally think it does help still. Depending on how good your shot is, you can make that decision for yourself. And then I'll be using a frag grenade on this class. And again with Hunker, this is going to be the class I use if I'm pushing up into mid on a map like Ardennes Forest or even St. Marie du Mont, where sometimes people throw nades down in the middle, etc., etc. So moving on, this is going to be my Silent Rush class. You're going to notice I still have Mountain on, but I'm going to be using Energetic. Energetic is pretty much like lightweight on this game. You can either use Inconspicuous, You can either use Inconspicuous and Airborne, or Energetic and Mountain. And I talked about this in my last class setup video, but personally I prefer to stay quiet, and I like to use Energetic. It still gets the job done, still gets me there quicker than not using Energetic at all. So this is going to be my regular Energetic rush class. I'm going to use Grip and Quick Draw, and then a Stun Grenade. I like to use a stun on most of my rush classes. Now moving on, this is my bar class. Pretty simple, just Mountain and Scoped. And then a bar with Quick Draw and Grip. Nothing special here, just pretty simple. If I want to use a bar, this is the class I go to. And it gets the job done. It's pretty accurate, and I enjoy using the bar a lot. So moving on to the next one is my STG class. Here, instead of Quick Draw and Grip, I actually have a Reflex sight on with Grip as well. And then I also have Scope. So pretty much same as the bar, except it's just STG with a Reflex instead of Quick Draw. So pretty simple stuff here. It has a frag grenade on that one. Moving on, this is my sniper class. I use Scoped. You can either use Hunker or Scoped, but pretty much everyone's sniper class looks exactly the same as this, because it's just you can only use these two attachments because everything else is banned. And then machine pistol, and you can put a Semtex or a stun on here, but I prefer the frag grenade on my sniper. This is my PPSH Russian class with Airborne. So like I mentioned earlier, you can either use Airborne and Inconspicuous, or you can use Mountain and Energetic. Now this, I have one of both, so if I ever need to get somewhere completely fast, like B bomb site on St. Marie du Mont or something, I use Airborne with Inconspicuous. And then you can either use a nade or stun. Sometimes I run a nade, sometimes I run a stun, depending on the map. Now, moving on to my second to last class is the M1 Garand. I know this is banned on like CMG, I think. I don't think it's banned on anything else, though. So this is the M1 Garand with Reflex and Grip, and then a frag grenade with Scoped. And I really like this gun a lot. Some people say it's OP, but I don't know. I think it's pretty fair. I don't run into too many people using the M1, so. And now we're going to be moving on to my last class, which is actually an armored class. And this is for when people are stunning you. If you're playing a good player and they're using a lot of stuns, they keep stunning you, you're going to have to put on armored, because armored is the only thing that gives you tac mask pretty much. So you're going to see I have the PPSH with Quick Draw and Grip, and then I'm going to be using armored and Inconspicuous. Obviously you want to have Inconspicuous on when you're not using Mountain. And then I'm going to have a stun on. So even if they're stunning me, I can stun them back and force them to run armored as well. So that's pretty much the goal here with this one. I'm going to run through all these classes, just hover over them really quickly so you can see them if you're trying to copy them or whatever. But this is what I run. I try to explain why I use it and the scenarios I use it for. If you want something more in-depth, as into on the maps and rounds I use, what class I actually use on those maps and rounds, then I can go into that further. But this is pretty much it. I know I did this video super quickly. I was talking very quickly. I just wanted to get it out there because so many people have been requesting it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you next time. Something special coming soon, I hope. And yeah, I hope you guys will see that in the next few days. But without further ado, I will see you next time. Peace.